What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Bass, and y'all tuned in to another episode of Ends Podcast. And we're going to dive straight into it. This podcast episode, we're going to be talking about why music artists should invest in their cover art or album art. And I understand that in this day and age, we live in the SoundCloud era where like you could just get it popping off of just your pure talent and your pure, just your pure work. But even going into that though, like everything like as you grow is gonna be all about presentation. You can get more streams, you can get more follows, you get more clicks, clickbait. People do it on YouTube. They call it clickbait by the YouTube thumbnail. They might put like a certain image on there that might get people to click onto it. Now, when you think about your music, it's the same thing. Now, some people might be like, nah, man, I just want to just make the art, or I ain't got a budget for all that. Man, it won't cost you as much as what you think. Like, that hit song can change your whole life. You feel me? That hit song can bring you multiple millions of dollars if you make that investment. So making like a $15, $25, $50 investment on some cover art so you can influence people to click on your music ain't worth it, then you in the wrong business, man. Like, you trying to make it in the wrong avenue because you ain't willing to make the necessary investments. Now I can understand, like you broke your shit, you on your ass, you on your, like you just broke your shit. But even when it still come down to that, like, do it yourself. Like, get creative with it. Like, be overly invested, not under invested. And not just complaining about you ain't got the investments. So when it comes down to your music, and like that's just one of the keys of marketing, man. Marketing is all about presentation and being able to make your product connect with the consumer and relay that message, that value. Your cover art do that. Future has some of the best cover art. Like a lot of artists, like certain artists, they go really in on a cover art. I know Meek Mill cover art when that Dreams and Nightmares, man, that cover art was dope. Where it had the rollie connected to like the handcuffs, which was like it played off the whole Dreams and Nightmares. Everybody chasing a rollie, but while you chasing a rollie, you might do things that might land you in handcuffs. Or you chasing a rollie, but you trying to avoid the handcuffs. Like, you feel me? Like, so it all plays into each other. Then at the same time, it helps build your credibility too, because people see those investments. So people won't just think they're like, oh man, he's just somebody rapping out of the closet. Even if you is rapping out of the closet, because a lot of times people don't know until like you say sometimes, man. Like the Migos' whole first like mixtape, they recorded inside of a closet. But go look at their cover art though. Go look at how they presented the music, how they packaged it, how they delivered it. You feel me? They still use hood techniques. They, at the club and all that type of stuff. It was still more word of mouth marketing. But they made the initial investments into the overall branding of it. You feel me? Because that's where you go into branding. As music artists, sometimes you don't look at that, but branding is everything. You look at when NBA Youngboy first came out. His whole movement at first was that 38. You feel me? So he had like a lot of his cover art, a lot of his branding of his cover art, even still to this day, it speaks into his image as an artist. I like the cover art when Chicago drill music was taking over. Like Chicago drill music is still heavy. But during like that 2012 to 2013, all the way to possibly like 2014. A lot of those artists that was coming out of Chicago, they was still in the hood. But when you was looking at their music and how they delivered their music, you probably thought that they already made it. I mean, like the dudes had cover arts. They already had the videographers, the photography. Like they was putting shit together, but they was doing it at a hood level. So it's like it ain't about where you start. It's about how you invest. So making those initial investments is key. That's one big initial investment would be the cover art, because that's the first thing everybody see. You feel me? That's the first thing everybody know you buy is your cover art. So your cover art is basically like your face. That's like the face of your product. So it's like, why not invest into the face of your product? You know? But it's your boy Baz. You know, I'm just here just to drop a few jewels, you know, help you with a few tools. And if you need help with trying to find out, you know, cover art or anything like that, you know, we also provide that type of service, but this ain't that and this ain't this. If you know somebody, man, go to them, man. Get it, man, and just try to get a bang for your buck if you're starting out. But if you want to work with us, man, come work with us, man. But in all, only thing I'm just trying to say is take that initial investment that you're making by getting in the booth, transfer that energy to how you want to deliver your product. It's not all about just creating the music. It's also about how you choose to push it and how you choose, and like all that's part of the creating process too. But it's also about how you choose to push it. The cover art is part of the creation process. You feel me? But it's also come down to how you push it. Like as we was going back into, that helps with click-throughs. That also helps with the presentation. That also helps with your credibility. People like music that they feel like you invested into. If they feel like you just made it on the whim and they can tell you just made it like on the blue, they just gonna be like, oh, that's dope. Oh, I support you. That's nice. Oh, you make your music. But if it's like that cover art hitting, they can't even tell what type of production you did because the song just hit on all the chords and you out there pushing it, they can't tell. Like, you gonna catapult in the game. You gonna rise to the next level. And it also helps bring, like as we said, it also helps build your brand. So the top three things is, it helps with your credibility, helps with your branding, and also helps with marketing your product, which is your music. So come on, man, get your head in the game, man. Make that initial investment. It's your boy Bass, and we out. Ends Podcast, baby. Go ahead and support, like, share, subscribe. And if you want to be loud and proud with it, go ahead and get that Ends merch and represent the voice of the culture. And we out.